प्रभु नित्यानंद श्रीद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की, श्री श्री राधा कृष्णा गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की, वृंदावन धाम की, मथुरा धाम की, मायापुरम धाम की, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, गंगामाई की, यमुनामाई की, तुलसी महारानी की, शीला प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन प्रोग्राम की, श्री श्री राधा रास बिहारी ललिता विशाखा की, श्री श्री सीताराम शर्मान की, श्री श्री गौर निताई की, शीला प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. कौन सा श्लोक? 33। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, text number 33. Amayo yascha bhutanam jayate yena subrata तदेवा एव हि अमयं द्रव्यं न पुनाति चिकित्सितम्। आमयो यश्च भूतानां जायते येन सुब्रता तदेवा हि आमयं द्रव्यं न पुनाति चिकित्सितम्। आमयो यश्च भूतानां जायते येन सुब्रता तदेवा हि आमयं द्रव्यं न पुनाति चिकित्सितम्।
आमयो यश्च भूतानां जायते येन सुब्रता तदेव हि आमयं द्रव्यं न पुनाति चिकित्सितम्। आमयो यश्च भूतानां जायते येन सुब्रता तदेव
आमयो यश्च भूतानां जायते येन सुब्रता
आमयो यस्य भूतानां जायते येन सुब्रता तदेव हि आमयं न पुनाति चिकित्सितम्।
नोट्स मेकर किधर है? Exam.
जायते येन सुकृत तदेव हयामयं द्रव्यं न पुनाति चिकित्सितम्
Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Srila Prabhupada. इसको थोड़ा नीचे करना पड़ेगा नहीं? O good soul, does not a thing applied therapeutically cure a disease which was caused by that very same thing? An expert physician treats his patient with a therapeutic diet. For example, milk preparations sometimes cause disorder of the bowels, but the very same milk converted into yogurt and mixed with some other remedial ingredients cures such disorders. Similarly, the threefold miseries of material existence cannot be mitigated simply by material activities. Such activities have to be spiritualized, just as by fire iron is made red hot and thereby the action of fire begins. Similarly, the material conception of a thing is at once changed as soon as it is put into the service of the Lord. That is the secret of spiritual success. We should not try to lord it over the material nature, nor should we reject material things. The best way to make the best use of a bad bargain is to use everything in relation with the Supreme Spiritual Being. Everything is an emanation from the Supreme Spirit, and by His inconceivable power, He can convert spirit into matter and matter into spirit. Therefore, a material thing, so-called, is at once turned into a spiritual force by the great will of the Lord. The necessary condition for such a change is to employ so-called matter in the service of the spirit. That is the way to treat our material diseases and elevate ourselves to the spiritual plane where there is no misery, no lamentation, and no fear. When everything is thus employed in the service of the Lord, we can experience that there is nothing except the Supreme Brahman. The Vedic mantra that everything is Brahman is thus realized by us. Evam nunam kriya yoga sarve sansmriti hetavaha tayevatma vinashaya kalpante kalpita pare. Thus, when all a man's activities are dedicated to the service of the Lord, those very activities which caused his perpetual bondage become the destroyer of the tree of work. Fruitive work which has perpetually engaged the living being is compared to the banyan tree in the Bhagavad Gita, for it is certainly very deeply rooted. As long as the propensity for enjoying the fruit of work is there, one has to continue the transmigration of the soul from one body or place to another according to one's nature of work. The propensity for enjoyment may be turned into the desire for serving the mission of the Lord. By doing so, one's activity is changed into karma yoga, or the way by which one can attain spiritual perfection while engaging in the work for which he has a natural tendency. Here the word Atma indicates the categories of all fruitive work. The conclusion is that when the result of all fruitive and other work is dovetailed with the service of the Lord, it will cease to generate further karma and will gradually develop into transcendental devotional service, which will not only cut off completely the root of the banyan tree of work, but will also carry the performer to the lotus feet of the Lord. The summary is that one has to, first of all, seek the association of pure devotees, who not only are learned in the Vedanta, but are self-realized souls and unallied devotees of Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. In that association, the neophyte devotees must render loving service physically and mentally without reservation. This service attitude will induce the great souls to be more favorable in bestowing their mercy, which injects the neophyte with all the transcendent qualities of the pure devotees. Gradually, this is developed into a strong attachment to hearing the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, which makes him able to catch up the constitutional position of the grass and subtle bodies, and beyond them, the knowledge of the pure soul and his eternal relation with the Supreme Soul, the personality of Godhead. After the relation is ascertained by establishment of the eternal relation, pure devotional service to the Lord begins gradually by developing into perfect knowledge of the personality of Godhead, beyond the purview of the impersonal Brahman and localized Paramatma. By such Purushottama Yoga, as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, one is made perfect even during the present corporeal existence, and one exhibits all the good qualities of the Lord to the highest percentage. Such is the gradual development by association of pure devotees. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Isha Gopika Kanta Kanta Namaste Takanchana Varagi Hare Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kaltarabhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So Narada Muni's instructions to Vyasadeva, they are very wonderful. Each and every verse we have to actually remember the contents. The root cause of all our taking birth again and again is Why do you keep on taking birth again and again? Huh? Yeah. Desire. Right? And because of the desire, we perform karma. Right? How many types of karma is there? Huh? 3 types. Karma, vikarma, akarma. And then one more karma is there. Avaram karma. Right? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, Avaram karma. Avaram karma means abominable activities. Anyway, it comes under vikarma. So, anybody who doesn't know what are the 3 karmas? Karma, vikarma, and akarma. Everybody knows all the 3? I have to explain. Manisha ji, you know? You know? What are the 3? Karma, akarma, vikarma. Vikarma means sinful activities. Karma means acting according to the occupation duty, Vedic principles. Right? Then akarma means both karma and vikarma, they have reaction. Vikarma and akarma. Akarma means activity which doesn't have a reaction. Right? Right now we are on the platform of mostly vikarma, you know. Right? Unless you are doing some seva in the temple or connected to Krishna consciousness, everything else we don't follow Vedic dharma or anything. Right? Right? So we should be very careful. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Niyatam kuru karmatvam karma jayoi akarmanaha. Right? Sharira yatra pichate na prasiddhet akarmanaha. My dear Arjuna, please engage in niyata karma. You know what is niyat karma? Prescribed duties. Niyat karma means prescribed duties. All of us should fall into a category, either Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, or Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. You know, this Varnashrama Dharma, Varna and Ashram. And then every Varna and every Ashrama, they have some particular duties. Right? So, Prabhupada writes in Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, he analyzes that in general, people act according to their occupational duties and dedicate the results of their activities to Krishna. That is called devotional service. Prabhupada defends. Some people, they think like that. But according to us, so then there is one more thing where, you know, we engage directly in the service of Krishna. Right? So, Prabhupada says this is more preferable, you know, engaging directly in the service of Krishna. Because nowadays, occupational duty is contaminated. Right? For example, especially if you are working in a government office, right? Sometimes Prabhupada writes, no, I'm not saying this, Prabhupada writes, you have to work under a abominable person, right? Abominable person. So that actually is a problem. In India nowadays, of course nowadays it's not so much, but in Andhra, during my time, government job means the girls, they used to line up, In Andhra, if somebody is working in a private company, they would not give the girl. प्राइवेट कंपनी में काम कर रहे हैं अरे बिरला में काम कर रहे हैं टाटा में है गवर्नमेंट राइट so then we have to work under some abominable person, then then it creates a problem. So then that is why ISKCON it was established to render service to Krishna directly, right? So this is the root cause, of what is karma. Krishna explains in 8th chapter Bhagavad Gita, right? So what is karma? What is the definition of karma? One which produces your next body, right? अक्षरम ब्रह्म परमम स्वभावो अध्यात्म उच्यते भूत भावोद्भव करो विसर्गः कर्म संयते. Arjuna asked, what is karma, what is Brahman, what is this, what is that? So in answer to this question, Lord Krishna says in 8th chapter Bhagavad Gita, 3rd shloka, right? Aksharam brahma paramam swabhavo adhyatma uchyate bhuta bhavodbhava karo visargaha karma samyitaha. Bhuta bhava, which produces your next body is called karma, right? So here we have this problem. As soon as we do some karma, your next body is produced, right? But if you don't want to do karma, Krishna says, you cannot even maintain your body. So what is the solution? AC बंद करना है? AC बंद कर दो. AC कम करो या बंद करो? हाँ? कम तो होता ही नहीं. After some time you will say, यार AC on करो AC. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, nahi kashi shanamapi jatu tishtati akarmakrit karyatva hi avashah karma sarvai prakriti jayar gunai. Right? You cannot remain without performing karma even for a second. Nahi kashi shanamapi, not even 1 minute, 1 kshana also you cannot remain without doing work. Right? Even when you are sleeping, you are dreaming, or right? When you are not doing work, you are actually किधर है? So it's a big dilemma, right? What to do? Shyam Sundar Garu, what is the solution? Right? If you do work, if you do karma, you are producing your next body. If you don't do this, if you don't do karma, you cannot maintain this body. Prabhupada writes in the purport that even a lion in the forest, if he thinks I am the king of a forest, jungle, all the goats and deer, they should come and fall into my mouth. It doesn't happen, right? Lion has to go for hunting. But one person, Krishna, Narad Muni says, right? Dharmartham apine hete, tatrartham adhano dhanam. Aniha manasya, maha aher, iva vrittida. 7th canto, 15th chapter. Even a person, even if he doesn't have any money, still he should not endeavor to earn money. Right? Then how the food will come? Aniha manasya. Aniha means if somebody without any material desires, if he spends his life, maha aher means python. Python doesn't do any work, but the food comes and falls into his mouth. Then he eats, otherwise he doesn't go for hunting food. In the same way, such a person who doesn't have any material desires, if he doesn't have to make any endeavor to earn money, even if he doesn't have money, the food comes on its own. सीखो ना क्या करना है, कम करो. It is called Ajagar Vritti, Ajagar Vritti. Anyway, for Grihasthas, Brahmanas, it is meant only for sadhus and Brahmanas and all. Right? Like our Sudama Vipra, he was doing Ajagar Vritti. Right? Suddenly became rich. Nowadays, Sudama Vipra Katha is going on in our temple. So, what is the solution? Right? The solution is, Krishna gives. Karmanye vadikaraste, ma phaleshu kadachana, ma karma phala heturbur, mato asangostva karmani. You have every right to do work. Karmanye adhikar, you have right to do work. Ma phaleshu kadachana. At any time, you have no right to enjoy the fruits of your work. Any time. Why? Please discuss and tell me. 1 minute. You have right to do work, but you have no right to enjoy the fruits of your work. Ma phaleshu kadachana, ma karma phala heturbur. But mato asangastva karmani. But then don't think of not doing work also. Same thing. Krishna is saying, you have right to do work, but you have no right to enjoy the fruits. Just because you cannot enjoy the fruits of your work, he's saying, don't be as attached to not doing work also. Right? Please discuss and tell me. And discuss Tanir Shetty. Okay, done? बोलिए.
Prabhuji, I discussed with the Prabhujis that so Supreme Soul is there and Soul is there. Soul's constitutional duty is to keep happy the Supreme Soul. Always you have to see the happiness of the Supreme Soul. That's why we have not seen the fruits of the action. We have to see only we have to do all our karmas. Give the fruits to the happiness of the enjoyment of the Supreme Soul.
Very good.
So we have discussed that we cannot enjoy the fruits of a result because we are not the enjoyers, only Krishna is the supreme enjoyer.
Okay.
What I think that, while we are performing our duties, if we put the result in the forefront, then even we are not able to do our work, the way one should do. So if we think that I'm put in a role where Krishna has given me this role, so my, energies will be more on performing the work in a nicer way, not being born with the result. So this way the quality of work will be improved. So for example, an actor, if they think that I want to become very popular, so I have to sign multiple movies. So that is a sansaric, way of doing the things. But if she or he thinks that, I've given this position because Krishna has given me this position, so I have to do this work to please him, to perform my duties. So, the same thing I think Krishna expects us.
Very good. Still more? Bol, Manisha ji?
That's what we also discussed about the supreme enjoyer, that Krishna is supreme enjoyer. So we should just do the work and not expect anything.
Aishu?
Desire of fruit should not be the motive.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. Aishu and Pruta?
We should work, but not to the motive that we will get the fruit. We should work just
Yeah.
If I'm working hard, very hard, if the result comes, I should not think that it happens because of me. Because suppose a farmer he produces a bumper crop, it's not because of his hard work. From where he getting the seed, from where he got the soil, from where he got the sunlight, air, water. So it's not just because of the farmer's hard work, the bumper crops produce.
బోలో శ్యామ్ సుందర్ గారు నిద్ర వస్తుందా చెప్పండి. I'm see, answers are all correct, but you have to tell what is in my mind. Yeah.
Renunciations of the fruits of action, for by such renunciation one can attain peace of mind.
Yeah, that is also there. That is the result of giving up the fruits of one's activity. I will tell you. Suppose you are constructing a house, and then you call a carpenter, right? You call a carpenter and give him wood, fevicol, and all other ingredients, right? You tell him to make a furniture. Then he makes the furniture and fits it in the house. So that furniture belongs to you or to carpenter? Huh? Yeah? Huh? To you, right? It belongs to you, right? Carpenter or carpenter. But carpenter gets his majduri, whatever. In the same way, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhumi rapo anala vayu kamanno buddhirevacha ahankaramiti me binna prakriti astada. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. All these 8 elements belong to me, my energy. So Krishna is allowing us to utilize these energies. You make use of Krishna's energies and making something. So that belongs to Krishna or you? Huh? Huh? Now you understand why Krishna is saying that? Huh? Because the Prabhupada writes in 6th canto, 23rd chapter, that even though Brahmaji creates this material world, the credit for creating this material world should not go to him, because Krishna has given the ingredients to make this universe. In the same way, the scientist may proclaim himself very great by inventing an aeroplane. But the credit for inventing the aeroplane should not go to the scientist, because it should go to the supreme scientist Krishna, because ingredients which are used for making the aeroplane are supplied by Krishna. Not only that, the brain which is used for making that aeroplane is also supplied by Krishna. So the credit should go to Krishna, not to the scientist. Right? समझ में आया? हाँ? समझ में आया? So that is why Krishna is saying, so one Acharya says that if you dedicate the fruits of your activities to Krishna, Krishna purifies your act and then supplies you in such a way. Krishna doesn't deprive you, He is not. Sometimes, one of my donors, he does, polishing, marble polishing, floor polishing and all. He has taken a vow not to do any work in any film actor's house. They don't pay it simply. They don't pay it. In the same way, Krishna is not such a, cruel master that he will make you do work and then you give the fruits of all your work to Krishna, then he won't get back anything. But he gives you in such a way that you'll be very happy, then you don't become entangled. Right? Otherwise, life after life, life after life, life after life, you have to keep on enjoying, you have to keep on working, and then you have to keep on suffering. Pata nahi what all. This world is becoming dangerous day by day, right? Right? Now see, in Bangladesh, how ISKCON, ISKCON is under threat. Hindus are under threat, right? Just imagine taking birth in Afghanistan in the next life. or Palestine. Right? Israel wale aake bomb dal dega. Yeah? They keep on publishing photographs, how the children become orphans. Very heart rendering, small children, they become orphans, because parents get killed. And, one of the child takes care of the other child. And then they are not even allowing the food supply to reach the people, Israel wala. So very, very dire situation. So it's not very safe to take birth again. Is it not? But if you do karma, huh?
Next body is ready.
Huh?
Next body is ready.
Next body is ready. So the solution is? Huh? Huh? Yeah. The solution is because you cannot actually immediately go back to Godhead, right? If you join ISKCON, that is a different thing. But otherwise, if you are working outside, then you have to do work. But if you are attached to there are 4 verses, you can learn, in second chapter Bhagavad Gita. You may be knowing, Yogastha Kurkarmanam, Sangam Tatva, Dhananjaya, Siddhi Asiddho, Samabhutva, Samatvam Yogamuchyate. Dure nahi avaram karma, Buddhi Yoga Dhananjaya, Buddhau Sharanamanvicha, Krupana Phalahetavaha. बुद्धियुक्तो जहाति हो उभे सुकृत दुष्कृते तस्मात् योगा युज्यस्व योगः कर्मसु कौशलम कर्मजं बुद्धियुक्ता हि फलं त्यक्त्वा मनीषिणः जन्मबंध विनिर्मुक्त पदम गच्छन्ति अनामय. Beautiful verses. You can learn second chapter 47, 48, 48, 48 to 51. Yogastaha Kuru Karmanam. Prabhupada translations are Bhava translations. Very amazing translation. Here, Yogastaha, Prabhupada translated, remain equipoised. Right? Remain equipoised and perform your work without attachment to success or failure. That equanimity is called yoga. When will you become unattached to success or failure? Give an example. When will you remain, Krishna is saying, remain equipoised, perform your work without being attached to success or failure, success and failure. That kind of samatvam, equipoised, equanimity is called yoga. Krishna here is defining yoga. What is yoga? Right? How can you remain unattached to both success and failure? Prabhupada gave an example. Suppose you are working in a bank. You are counting cash, lakhs of rupees cash. Does that cash belong to you? So sometimes you get 10 lakh rupees cash. So is the cashier become joyful? Or sometimes he gets only 10,000 rupees cash. Does cashier become sad? Because cash, whether it is 10 lakhs or 10,000, doesn't belong to him. It belongs to the bank. He is only an instrument, worker. In the same way, if you are working for Krishna, success and failure should not bother you, because Krishna has to bother about success and failure. That is his job, right? That is his company. You are working for him. You will get your salary. The cashier, whether he counted 10 lakh rupees or 10,000 rupees, he will get his salary. Is it not? समझ में आया? हाँ? समझ में आया? सुशील समझ में है? योगस्थः कुरु कर्माणं संगत्यत्य धनंजय. Then durena hi avaram karma. Durena means? Durena means stay far away. Dur or nazdik. Stay far away from abominable activities. Avaram karma. You know what is avaram karma? Avaram karma is activities that are in mode of ignorance. Right? Engaging in intoxication. Drinking alcohol, taking drugs. Right? And doing smuggling activities. All abominable. Watching obscene movies. That is a big time addiction among people, right? Watching pornography and all. So that kind of activities in mode of ignorance, they are called abominable activities. One should, Krishna is saying, one should stay away from Durenahi avaram karma, buddhi yoga dhananjaya. Buddhi yoga, Prabhupada actually translated buddhi yoga into devotional service. By performing devotional service, Buddha Sharanam Anvicha, remain surrendered to me, Buddha, and then Kripana Phalahetava. One who wants to enjoy the fruits of one's activities is called a miser. Kripana. Right? We are discussing in Wednesday class. Karpanya doshopata svabhava pruchamitvam dharma samudiceta. Karpanya, who is a Karpanya? So one of the definition is one who wants to enjoy the fruits of his activity is called a miser. Buddhi yukta jahatiha ubhe sukrita dushkrute. By engaging in such a way, buddhi yukta jahatiha, by engaging in this devotional service, ubhe sukruta dushkrute, buddhi yukta jahatiha means in this life itself, buddhi yukta jahatiha, ubhe sukruta dushkrute, you can become free from both good and bad results of activities. Buddhi yukta jahati hai, ubhe sukrita dushkrute. You can become, sukrita means pious activity. Dushkrita means impious activity. In this life itself, iha. In this life itself, you can become free from the results, reactions of these both good and bad activities. In this, that is why tasmat yoga yujyasva. Therefore, you be engaged in yoga, bhakti yoga, buddhi yoga. This is the yoga karmashu kaushalam. This is art of doing work. Prabhupada, that's the correct translation, right? This is the art of doing work. Kaushalam. This you have to learn from a bona fide spiritual master. Prabhupada says, there is one definition. When a disciple goes to a spiritual master, how this word kaushalam it came, the Acharya explains that when the disciple approaches the spiritual master, in the previous ages, the first job, the spiritual master teaches, because the more important ingredient for a brahmana or a guru to perform yajna. The most important ingredient for that is kushagras. They grow kushagras. The spiritual master teaches how to cut the kushagras. There is a way to cut the kushagras so that it will regrow again. If you don't cut it properly, it dies out. That is why the spiritual master teaches how to cut the kushagras. That is kushalam, expertise. You have to be expert in doing work. Yoga karmashu kaushalam. Like that, you have to be expert in doing work in such a way that you don't become entangled. This is the art of doing work. Then karmajam buddhi yukta hai phalam tyaktva manishina janmabandha vinirmukta padam gachanti anamayam. Prabhupada gave lectures on these 4 verses. Please hear them, very wonderful. Anamayam Prabhupada says Vaikuntha. Amayam, contamination. Anamayam means without contamination. That is called Vaikuntha. Right? What is the definition of Vaikuntha? Huh? Huh? Bolo, Alka ji. What is Vaikuntha? Switch off the AC है, बहुत ठंडी लग रहा है. What is Vaikuntha? Kuntha means anxiety. Are you in anxiety? उधर क्यों जा रहे हो? बुद्धू है. उधर आपको सिखाया ना, जाओ. क्या? नहीं सिखाते हम लोग, इसलिए. Are you in anxiety? Whether you will get your insurance ka? Right? We are in anxiety, right? All the time. Business people. हमारे प्रॉफिट मिलेगा कि नहीं, माल बिकेगा कि नहीं, हमारा बेटा का शादी होगा कि नहीं, बेटी का शादी होगा कि नहीं. Everybody is in anxiety, right? Those who are not devotees, they are so much in anxiety. At least devotees, at least they know what is Krishna is taking care of them, But otherwise, people are so much in anxiety. Donald Trump also is in anxiety. Everybody, Bill Gates is also in anxiety, right? If Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos cannot, satisfy their wives, what chance we have got, to satisfy the wife, right? They both of them, they left their wives have left them. Isn't that? So much in anxiety. How to satisfy the wife and children. Vaikuntha, right? Kuntha. This world is made of world of Kuntha. Kuntha means always, always in anxiety. Vaikuntha means a place where there is no anxiety. So how much money you may be having, it is very difficult to get happiness in this world, because there is something or the other, lacking in this, in one's life. Life is never perfect. Something or there, if somebody has money, some health problem will be there, or children are not listening to you. That is the great source of anxiety, right, for parents. बच्चे मेरे बात नहीं सुनते हैं. मैं बोलता हूँ, आप भगवान को बात नहीं सुनते हो, आप बच्चे आपके बात क्यों सुनेगा? Right? Isn't it? So कर्मजम बुद्धि युक्ता है phalam tyaktva manishina. Manishina means intelligent person. This word manishina comes many times. Manishina means the most intelligent person. The most intelligent person remains engaged in devotional service, and without being attached to the fruits of one's activities, he gives up the fruits of his activities to Krishna, for satisfying Krishna. And then janmabandha vinirmukta, he becomes free from entanglement of cycle of birth, death, old age and disease. And then padam gachanti anamayam. He goes towards Vaikuntha. Right? Pibanti bhagavataha atmanaha shatam. Kathamritam shravana putesha sambritam. Punanti vishaya vidushi ashayam. Vrajanti tat charana sharori antikam. This is a verse from second canto, second chapter. Almost, I think last verse. Pibanti bhagavataha atmana satam. Pibanti means you drink. You drink. Bhagavataha atmana satam. Katamritam shravana puteshu sambritam. You fill the ears, to the brink with kathamritam. Right? Punanti vishaya vidushita asayam. You will become free from vishaya, asakti, attachment, desire for material sense enjoyment. Material sense enjoyment. Then vrajanti tat charana sharori kantikam. Vrajanti means you go towards Krishna's abode, to the lotus feet of Krishna. Right? So, Janmabandha Vinirmukta. So, in this age of Kali, so mostly we should. So, Prabhupada writes in the purport of that verse that Punanti, if you are, after reading Bhagavatam, if you are not becoming free from material desires, there is some problem with you. Right? There is some problem. Huh? Yeah. Right? If you read Bhagavatam, so that is why we should be, devotees should not be too attached to sense enjoyment. Vishaya, Vishaya, Visha, Amisha. Bilamangal Thakur says, Vishaya is more dangerous than wish. What is the difference between Vishaya and wish?
Wish is poison.
Wish. Vishaya?
And Vishaya, sense object.
There is only one syllable different is there. Vishaya, wish. But wish is better than Vishaya, because wish, if you take, only when you take wish, you will die. Vishaya, if you simply thinking about Vishaya, you will die. So death means what? You will take birth, taking birth again. Right? If you are attached to material sense enjoyment, then you have to work hard. Then if you are attached to sense enjoyment, when you work hard, you won't give the results of your activities to Krishna, because you think that, I need to go to Maldives, I need to go to, Dubai, and I will enjoy like this, I will enjoy like that. For that you need money. If you give it for Vidyadan, how will you enjoy? Where is the prasad? Down or here? Next lecture is there? समझ में आ रहा है सबको? सो युक्तः कर्मफला त्यक्त्वा शान्तिमाप्नोति नैष्टिकी अयुक्तः कामकारेण फलासक्तः निबध्यते. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 5th chapter 12th verse, if somebody gives up his fruits of his activities to me, he attains unadulterated peace. What is that? What is meant by adulterated peace? Adulteration means milavat. Unadulterated means no milavat. But those who are attached to the fruits of one's activities, karma bandham, one gets entangled in karma bandhan. Right? So there are many. So that is why in the two verses, Narad Muni is explaining. Narad Muni is explaining the very work that you are doing, which entangles you. If you use that work in the service of Krishna, the same work will make you free. Just like when you drink too much milk, you get indigestion. And in the same, that indigestion can be cured with the same product of milk, which is converted into dahi, and then you add some, pepper powder, and then if you take dahi, but milk and dahi are the same product, right? The work which causes, bondage, the same work can release you when you engage in the service of Krishna. Right? Once, in previous years, previous days, even in our childhood also, we used to simply go to Tirupati and get darshan, Not many people were there. Right? I remember we were going to Tirupati and taking darshan, just like that. All these darshan passes and this Tirumala is situated on a hill. Where usually difficult to terrains to climb and all, right? So there, during Ramanuja's time, there is a problem. Nobody wants to go up and do service to Balaji because Tirupati, the Tirumala hill is infested with mosquitoes, ferocious animals, all that, so much. Then Ramanuja asked, who wants to go and do service to Balaji? Then Ananta Acharya, he raised his hand. I will go. So then Ramanuja embraced him and said, in Tamil he said something which means, you are a man. You are a man, like that. So he went. So Ramanuja wanted, that somebody dig a sarovar and then do gardening and make a garland, very nice garlands and offer to Balaji. So he was actually. Some people, they are very attached to their service. They don't let others do service. They are attached. They say, we also want to do our service. Don't interfere, like that. They say. So he was digging. At that time, his wife was pregnant, and he is digging, and then in Gamla she was taking that mitti and then throwing it in the fire. Then one boy came, said, Tata, can I help you? He said, no, this is my service, you don't interfere, go get lost. Then that boy wanted to do service. Then that boy went to that lady. He said, you are pregnant, why are you doing so much hard work? You take for a little while and then I'll, throw it and come back. So that boy is very fast because this lady was pregnant. He was going and coming very quickly. Then Anantacharya got it out. How come you are coming very so fast? Then he checked. Then this boy was helping. Then he caught him. He was trying to chastise. Why are you helping? Why are you doing this? I told you, to get lost. No. So he wanted to catch him and punish him. And then that boy started running. And then Anantacharya also started running. So somehow or other, when he was not able to, this, then he has this, uh,
Close the act.
Gunapam, what do you call? Huh? Spare, whatever. He threw it on that boy, and then he got hurt, on his chin. See, he ran and ran and ran, and then went inside the Garbhagudi of Balaji temple. And then Anantacharya was very angry. Let him come out. Somehow or other I will punish. Then he was waiting for a very long time. He didn't come. When the pujaris came, when they entered, there is blood flowing from his chin. Balaji. Hare, blood is coming, blood is coming. Then Anantacharya understood that, it is because of me, Then he brought camphor, karpur, and then put it here so that blood doesn't flow. So Balaji said, hey Ananta, I am very pleased with your service. For all the time to come, they will put, camphor, to celebrate your attachment to service, how you hurt me. So that is why, they put camphor, on Balaji's chin, even now. The spear, whatever, is still there. It is still there in Tirupati temple, like that. Once these ladies, they know birds, these Mallika birds, before they become flowers, they have to make the garland. Otherwise, you cannot, it's difficult to make garland, once the bird becomes a flower. So one day, he was actually making garland. Balaji sent his pujari, said, call Anantacharya, I want to speak to him. So Anantacharya, he was sitting in his garden, and then he was making garland, birds. So, hey Anantacharya, Balaji is calling you. They call Perumal, we say, Perumal. So Perumal is calling you. Anantacharya said, Perumal को कुछ काम धंधा नहीं है, ऐसा खड़ा रहता है. I have to, before these birds become flower, I have to make a garland. I have to make a garland. So, tell him I don't have time. Tell him I don't have time. Balaji became very angry. ऐसा बोलता है कि मेरे को काम धंधा नहीं है. Tell him to come, Then he made garland. Then he offered. Hey Ananta, what is happening? Why you refuse to come? ऊपर से ऐसा बोलता है कि मेरे को काम धंधा नहीं है. He said, you get out from the Tirumala. Then he said, तेरा बाप का है क्या? See, he told, I am not your servant. I am servant of Ramanuja. So Sri Ramanuja sent me here. Right? You yourself are a trespasser. This hill belongs to Varahadev. Then he gave you on rent this place. You know that? Huh? Varahadev gave this place to rent. So as a rent paying, actually whenever we go to Tirupati, first we should take darshan of Varahadev. Then only, that is the agreement between Balaji and Varahadev. Like that. So, you have no right to throw me out. I am servant of Sri Ramanuja. I am not your servant. So my guru has ordered me, to make garland and offer to you. Not that, I'll come and chit-chat with you. Like that. One more time, Anantacharya, he got fever. 2-3 days, he didn't come to offer garland. Balaji became, upset. He said, what happened? What happened to Anantacharya? Find out. He sent his pujari. So pujari came and found out that, Anantacharya is having high fever. डेंगू or whatever, मच्छर काट दिया था. Then he said no. Then he sent a doctor. Balaji sent a doctor. Doctor, he came. He said, I don't want any treatment. Tell your Balaji. What is this? Why he's not coming to see me? Then Balaji came to see him. Then he said, no, I'm not talking to you. Then he turned his face. अरे अनंता, देखो तो सही कौन आया. Said no, you have no time, for 2-3 days. That too you sent a doctor. Like that. How I will know? You should have sent a message that I am having fever. Like that. And then Balaji touched Anantacharya, Ananta Alvar. Then he became, that fever is gone. Are utho, seva karo. Then he embraced Anantacharya and went Balaji. Like that, they are having, he's doing service, like that. One day, Balaji and Lakshmi Devi, Sri Devi, they were doing vihar in the garden. Very beautiful garden he made, personally with so much love, like that. So they were actually plucking the flowers, and then he was putting flowers in the, they are in the form of, young boy and young girl, very beautiful black boy and golden girl, they are doing vihar. And then he was putting flowers in the hairs, right? Keshava, like that. Anantacharya became so angry. Who are you? What is this? What are you doing? This is garden meant for Balaji and Sridevi. Then you are doing all this Shringar, activities. Sometimes, in security is alert all the time. All these boys and girls, they come and, and usko bhagata hai. Right? ऐसा मंदिर में भी नहीं देखते हैं, मंदिर में भी यही चालू है लोग. So he took a stick and then wanted to beat that boy, and that boy ran away. But this girl is very Sukumari, so she could not run very fast. He caught hold of her, right? And then he took a flower garland and then tied her. He asked, where is he? Where is he? I don't know where he is gone. I don't know where is he gone. Then I know how he will come back. I will punish him today. Like that. So he tied her, there in the garden with the help of a garland. Like that. So when the pujaris went, Sridevi was not there. He said, what happened? Balaji said, देखो अनंताचार्य उसको बांध के रखा है garden में. Garden. So he went and then said, Lakshmi, they went and told Anantacharya, hey Ananta Alvar, do you know who is this girl? Sakshat Lakshmi Devi. किसको बांध के रखा है? अरे बाबा. Then ऐसा, then Balaji told, you now, he should bring, keeping her in a basket and then on his head and then bring her. This is how in Andhra marriages happen. They carry they carry the girls in a basket. You know that? The basket. अभी इतना हेवी हो जाता है कैरी करना, क्योंकि 25-30 साल में शादी करते हैं. पहले ज़माने में बच्चियों को शादी होता है. Like that. So with great fanfare and all, he carried Lakshmi Devi in a basket, and then Balaji took a garland and put him, and then decorated him. Said, from now onwards you are my father-in-law. So like that, in our Prabhupada, established the deities in ISKCON, and we should have that kind of loving relation. Make with our own hands garland, with our own hands food, not that employ somebody and duty ko chhod diya, with so much love and care. You know, we should serve the deities. And then we should serve ISKCON, and we should serve Prabhupada. So like this, we can become free from karma bandhan. Janma bandha vinirmukta, buddhi yukto jahati ho, ubhe sukrita dushkrite. So whatever Prabhupada writes in Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, whatever service you are doing, you do with love. Add that, when you make sweet rice, add little bit of camphor. There is a camphor, two types of camphor. Do you know that? In Tirupati Laddu, they mix camphor. That is why it gets so much nice taste. There is cooking camphor and there is Aarti camphor. In Kandivali or somewhere in Matunga, you get this cooking camphor. Add little bit. It gets very good fragrance and very great taste. Like that, whatever service you are doing, you add that camphor of love. With power, you perform that service. Not that out of duty you do something. No, not out of duty, out of... Prabhupada writes, Krishna is unlimited. Who can serve him? But he doesn't care what service you are doing, how big service you are doing. Krishna sees with how much sincerity and with how much love you are rendering service. That is important. Right? That you can learn from Srila Prabhupada. Right? हो गया टाइम? कौन सा स्पीकर कौन है? चक्रवर्ती प्रभु. So, I request, our stall में हमको वॉलंटियर चाहिए. Nobody wants to do service. सब लोग come and do service, book distribution. In my, there is a stall. We are having shortage of people there. मुहूर्त है क्या? Since when I am telling you? मुहूर्त निकाल रहा है, कल से आएगा. Why you are not coming?
There were some visitors, so I couldn't come. I was coming late.
Omkar, what about you?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow
Morning.
Come. We need a volunteers there. Vidya, why? You can come, na? Evening? Please come and do service, in book distribution. We are struggling, that previously here, that, what's his name? Kamalnath. Kamalnath Gaur, He was doing service and then he was managing and then he had so many people with him. So I didn't have to bother, Now he has gone. So now I given to somebody. So we don't have anybody. Our Sundar Rasbihari is struggling. They are doing, Please come and do service in our stall. Okay? Thank you. What's your name? Jagannath? Jagannath Sharan Prabhu. He recently took initiation. On that occasion he is giving Mataji. Mataji also. Varadayini Mahalakshmi. So she took second initiation. So where is the garland today? Nobody offered garland. So आप लेकर गार्लैंड रखा? आपने लिया था ना? अच्छा. So they are sponsoring feast today. We want to thank them and then give them more and more devotional service by chanting Hare Krishna once. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Please go. First floor.